Morning, it's day 2. I'm sat in my room in the pub bed and breakfast I'm in Ivybridge. I've just remembered I forgot to do a bit of a review last night of yesterday's walk. Yeah, it was actually a really good day. 16 miles, feet are fine, no blisters, no real aches and pains to complain of this morning. So yeah, it was say an easy walk. It was relatively easy. I mean, there's a fair bit of ups and downs. I think it was over 2,000 feet of elevation climbed as such, but nothing major and difficult. The last couple of miles I was tired and probably didn't speak much on camera, etc. Hence why I didn't really do any filming in Ivybridge, so I'll do some more this morning. Not that it's the prettiest of places, to be honest with you. No, so just going to head and have some breakfast, and then we'll head on out and start this walk proper, really, because we'll be heading straight out of Ivybridge up onto Dartmoor, so it's going to be interesting. It's quite a steady climb out of the Ivybridge so far. A lot more climbing to go to get on top of the moors. Just crossed the railway line now anyway. Officially into Dartmoor National Park. Oh, here comes a car. Yeah, so heading out into the wilderness. So we've got a change of signs now. MW for the Moors Way. Because we finished the Plim Trail. So yeah, new signs to look out for. Cool. This is a bit of a shock to the system. Because I'm heading out onto the moors, and I've no idea where you can possibly get water as such. I brought 2 litres with me. So that's obviously another 2 kilograms in weight, which when you've got a nice steep climb like this, isn't necessarily the nicest thing to have first thing in the morning. But I'd rather carry the weight than end up dehydrated out on the moors. Just spin the camera around. It's quite a decent track, this, actually. Although I imagine it'd be quite scary if you get heavy rains, etc., because it's probably like a river. But anyway, there's quite a strong breeze today, so I hope you can hear this. But it's helping to keep me cool anyway. Oh, that's the first sort of major climb done, albeit we haven't finished climbing, but just spin the camera around. But right, so over there is the official 2 Moors route, but actually where those 2 walkers are ahead, go straight up this hill, and it takes you on top of, I've forgotten the name of the beacon, but I'll write it up on the screen, where allegedly you get a pretty decent view. So although it's a bit of extra climbing, I think I've come for the views as much as anything, so that's what I'm going to do. Just stopping here for 5 minutes. Bit out of breath actually. Yeah, just I don't know how far we've come so far. Let's have a look on the phone. We've done just 4 miles, but it's been 4 miles of, well, not total climbing, but mostly climbing. Where are we now? We're at got the glasses on. Piles Hill, which is 387 metres high. What's that? It's over 1,000 feet in it. So yeah, it's done quite a lot of climbing. I'll just spin the camera around. I've got some company right in front of me. And then there's a few people dotted around. There's a group of teenagers just coming up the track over there. I haven't spoken to them, but I'm guessing they're Duke of Edinburgh. But I might be wrong. But yeah, I've seen a couple of other people in the distance, but I haven't actually come across anybody at the moment as to talk to. It is pretty remote up here, but that's how I like it. I mean, the weather's fine. The sun's sort of trying to poke its head out the sky. Hazy, but yeah. And it's, as I say, it's breezy up here, but it's not cold. In fact, the wind's quite nice. Stops me from sweating quite so much. Just stopped for a sandwich and a banana. It's just gone 12:30. Yeah, feet are sort of tired walking on that gravelly track. I think it's an old railway track actually. There used to be some sort of China clay workings up here or something 100 years ago, and so they built a railway track. So that's the bed of that is what I've been walking on for the last 2 or 3 miles. It's quite tough under the feet. Yeah, I'm 7.5 miles into the walk. I guess I'm going to stay in a campsite near Scorriton. So I think it's probably about another 4.5, 5 miles maybe. Yeah, it's gone overcast again now. There's even a spot to a rain in the wind. I don't think it's going to come to anything, but yeah, so it's taking the edge off the temperature a little bit, so I'm going to get going again before I get cold. But yeah, I mean, I haven't filmed a huge amount this morning because moorland, there isn't a huge amount to look at. So you could either have hundreds of different shots of me of the same thing basically, or I just not filmed anything. So yeah, that's why I've not done a huge amount of filming. But anyway, I'll speak to you soon. I think that there is slag heap from the China clay works. It's not a little volcano, it's a man-made heap. There's the bit where we now leave that track. So this little stone here, it's the only sort of way marker you'll get on Dartmoor. These stones, you've got to keep an eye out for them. You'll hear this because it's gone so windy. But yeah, I'd imagine this would be quite boggy in spring and winter. At the moment it's dry. But yeah, just went over my handle there, so you need to keep an eye on what you're doing. It was around about this point I made a mistake. When I turned off that gravel track, I picked up a path that ended up taking me in completely the wrong direction, sort of down towards Western White Barrow. So I ended up having to scramble across the tussocks of grass. I don't know how well the camera will pick this out, but this is leg breaking stuff, because the big thick tussocks of grass, and so I don't know if you can see my foot, it sort of goes down in a hole in between them, because there isn't any clear and obvious path through this. I mean, this would be horrendous if it was wet. Thankfully it's dry, but I started following some sort of a path, but it was taking me in totally the opposite direction to the way I need to go. So looks like other people have had the same trouble as me, because there's unless it's cattle or whatever, there's definitely a trail going through this grass in the direction we need to go. But yeah, this is bloody hard work, and yeah, so easy to go over on your ankle. So slow and steady wins the race on this one, I think. Thankfully, I'm finally back on the right path. That was hard work. And find your way across all the moorland, tussocks and whatever. But yeah, just come across the Clapper Bridge, and now heading down the valley towards Scorriton, I think. Not that you can see anything at the moment. This looks like some sort of stone circle. We're starting to drop down the other side of the moor. If you can hear this in the wind. Somewhere, I think, well, you can't zoom in enough on this thing, but I think if you can see the white buildings over there, that's Scorriton, I believe. And then I'm tucking around that hill slightly to where I hope there's a campsite. Needed that. I continued on to Mitchell Combe, where Dartmoor Huts have a campsite. And set up pitch. Unfortunately, I forgot to take a photograph of my pitch, so you don't get to see my tent. And then the the map of my walk for the day suddenly stopped short halfway, or 3/4 of the way in, so it doesn't run all the way to the end, but it gives you some idea as to where I went.